Welcome to Into the Mind of a Madman. You are now rocking with me, the Madman. And today, another topic from the Joe Button podcast. They were talking about Superhead's book with Melissa Ford and what's the impact it had on video vixens, and how did it actually affect her versus in the sense of versus how did the consumer or most people look at video vixens? You know, with all respect due, and nobody's feelings is not being accounted for, we we can understand how Melissa Ford, how her actual life changed. The way she was viewed and others alike, we can respect that for her the book may have put her in a different light or put a stigma on her that she didn't want or deserve. We all can understand that. So what she went through in her, and as she said, Gloria Velez, the Buffy the Bodies, and such of these high echelon people, the how she like the what is it? The actual her actual reality, she can say, you know what, there was a shift. Now, as a young man who's not in the industry, and as a young man who's now of age and have a wife and dealing with women and all of these things, and obviously of age to know who Melissa Ford was and all of these girls, as what 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 I believe the disconnect between her actual life and the person who's consuming her, far as you know what I mean, the conversation, is the disconnect is, I believe a lot of women don't understand the the spectrum they're on. And the reason why I'm speaking about this is because I've had this conversation with my wife to the point where once I realized the disconnect within the conversation, I no longer wanted to have it, because I really, it's like losing, it's like fighting a fight you can't win, right? But since it has been rehashed in this way on the Joe Button podcast, I'll speak on it here. And obviously, my wife's not here, so I don't really have to hear the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of get it off without any combatants. When there's a this is for the women, and maybe men could understand this because I think this is just how we think. There's a sex scale that women don't understand they're a part of, and and I mean by scale like spectrum wise, like you can be like women who dress a certain way are on a sex scale, women of the sexual industry are on a sex scale. Women who act a certain way are put on a sex scale. It's this scale of being very overt, non-caring, sexual liberation. Uh, I'm out here like that versus I'm sexy. I show off a little. I'm classy. I'm I'm a lady in the streets, but a freak in the bed. You all of these things are like on a sex scale, a spectrum, right? And you could be on the low end or the high end, like I said, of the of the two extremes. And most women, when they fall in the middle, or they when I must not I'm no that's not the right way. Most women, when they feel like they're not on the extreme showing off everything side, they feel like they're not on the sex scale at all. And that's kind of the disconnect that I notice with talking to my wife and just hearing women talk when these particular subject matters come up, right? Now, to relate to or put in perspective what I'm saying to the conversation on the Joe Budden podcast is video vixens and are on the sex scale far as this industry, right? They are on the same sex scale as the Playboy magazine. They are video vixens are on Playboy magazine, uh King magazine, um what is it, Hustlers magazine, um who else had Straight Stunting. Like you're on that sex scale of we are hiring you for sex appeal, and even though you may be the lead of this video or you may be on the cover of this magazine, which is a prestigious uh position role to have, you are still looked at essentially as a sex worker, to but not on the degree of you're an escort, you are a prostitute, but you are on this scale, right? So if Playboy is totally nude, right? Playboy is totally nude. That is an extreme uh of it on the I don't want to say 1 to 10, but just say that Playboy is nude, so you and King magazine is not nude, but you are in a bikini and you still showing ass, like you still poking out your ass and you covering up your breasts like this and all of the things, right? So you so most women will feel like, well, I'm not totally nude. I'm not in the Playboy mansion where it's Hugh Hefner and all of these ladies, and it's known for Playboy mansion sex, in addition to like Playboy TV and all of these things. So I'm not that bad. You see what I'm saying? But to a male, a male, like MALE, not a male. To a male, you just on that spectrum. It's like you just haven't got the opportunity to be on Playboy, or not that you didn't, but I'm just saying it's like we still look at you. You're still the same. You still are on this sex line, on this sex spectrum scale. You know what I'm saying? And and it's the same with video vixens. You you're you're you might, like, if King is print, you're the living visual version of King. So all of y'all, and it's still not BET Uncut, right? So if BET Uncut to a degree is Playboy, and you looking at it like, well, I'm kind of King because I'm able to be shown in the daytime. I'm able to be shown on BT or MTV. I'm the leading lady. I'm not naked. I'm not getting the credit card slip down my booty. I'm not even showing my breast or showing I'm in the hot tub in compromising positions. I'm literally on the boat dancing with a bottle and all of these things. And yeah, but you still on this spectrum of sex. So it's not like the consumer or the booking person or or the or the person who wants you in their video may be looking at you as this higher level of an actress. And this is also the disconnect. It's a big difference between a King magazine and a Vogue. It's a big difference between a Playboy and a Jet magazine. See what I'm saying? So when we looking at a Victoria's Secret model like a Tyra Banks, Naomi Campbell, you are not of that of Melissa Ford or Buffy the Body. You are prestigious in what you do because you are the leading lady of the video. We are hiring you because you are that beautiful. You are that stunning. You can talk well. We are hiring, like, we are getting you for a panel here and there. I'm saying taking it out of the music video scene because Melissa Ford, BT doing VJ things and all panels and all of these things. Yes, you are prestigious in that way, but you still aren't on the scale of Naomi Campbell. You still are on the scale of the Playboy magazine girls. See what I'm saying? And so when we, as the consumer, or as a male, or as like I said, as somebody who's booking a video, as like an artist, they like, for, let's say, Jay-Z, right? Just because he's just a very common name in my head right now. And it's the easiest one to kind of point to. Like, I don't feel like a Jay-Z will ever call or get the opportunity, being that he is Jay-Z, to call a Naomi Campbell or Tara Banks and say, play this booty dancing, showing off your curves in my big pimpin' video. I don't think Naomi Campbell will ever feel that call. Like, her agent will never take that call in consideration. even if you are Jay-Z. You see what I'm saying? Now, if he said, "Yo, I got this new love song," um, what's the song with him and Pharrell? I can't think of it. The one he came out with Beyonce, like, man, I can't remember it right now. But say he does that song and he's saying, "Yo, I want you to play my love interest and all of these things." Then she'll probably come. She'll probably go, "Okay, I can do that video." Change clothes, I want to say. Change clothes. If he's doing a change clothes video and he's just saying, "Yo, I just need a person to play spades and be on my side. I'm ready to give and I'm ready to make this official." Right? If she's playing the lead role, the video girl lead role in that, yes, then I can see Tara Banks or not. You mean that I try to get them for this because the energy of the video and the what the video was saying is different. But Naomi Campbell and Tara Banks will never be shaking ass in in a in a big pimping. It's it's just different scales. So what Superhead did with her book for the most common person just to hear you say, "Yo, we were looked at like this. This book happened and now we are looked at like this." It's kind of hard to fathom. Now, I do understand that there it obviously was a shift like that, like I said, your feelings are valid, but it may have looked, it may have casted something, a shadow on you of people saying, well, if she did that and she was in essentially a top video girl or Confessions of a Video Vixen, right? And they looked at her and she was named in songs and all of these things and she was in her videos and whatever and all of the things. They may have now looked at you and said, "Oh, so what did you do to get here? Who did you have to do to get here?" And I've heard, and I'm speaking to Melissa Ford at this point. And Melissa Ford, I've definitely heard you speak on your story many of times, even outside of the Joe Budden podcast. But now that you're on the Joe Budden podcast for about 3 going on 4 years now, whatever it is, I've definitely heard you say, "You know what? I carried myself a certain way so they wouldn't treat me a certain way." And even though I may have an incident here or two that something may have happened where I was uncomfortable, but for the most part, I carried my certain way and I spoke a certain way that certain things, like, people didn't even play with me like that. You see what I'm saying? So for you to do that and then have a book come out to where now people are now second, not even second guessing you per se, but giving you the energy like, maybe there is a way in or whatever it was, whatever the actual interaction was. I totally understand that, and like you said, you definitely probably didn't deserve that because you did do it in an honorable way, even though you may have slept with whoever you were sleeping with outside of that. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't connected to your actual industry movements and coming up and how you were doing, because you've always said you met I believe Hype Williams and all of these things. But back to the regular girls, like, in the conversation, do I'm really speaking through this too, is like I had a conversation with my wife, right? Well, I've had, this is back in the day, like I said, I stopped speaking about it. But the conversation was how she dressed. Now, I don't have an issue with how she dressed, but I'm trying to tell her, when you wear tight clothes and you wearing like these fitted clothes and all of these things and you're going to the club, you you're wearing clothes to what is it? Accentuate your curves, right? To make your curves stand out. You may have a bra on pushing your breasts up. You may have on like it makes your curves stand out. Like you have on the whatever you wearing. Like the girls, y'all wear y'all girdles or y'all wear y'all spandex things to keep the stomach in, to keep the stomach tight. If you got a little stomach, you want to like make it seem like you're flat, so your breast is gonna accentuate, your booty gonna stick out. You got on the tight jeans, you got on your sundresses, you got on all of these things, right? What I'm saying is, even though you're not necessarily having uh what is it, nipple covers on like Little Kim and walking into the club, or you're not wearing a thong to the club, and you're not doing these things, you when you people a man will still look at you as such though. You're still on this spectrum, this sex spectrum. See what I'm saying? So so if you're wearing a a low cut shirt that's showing your cleavage, and then you got a push up bra on or a bra that accentuate your breasts, you you're not looked at as the ratchet girl in the club that is wearing a whole see-through outfit with like nipple covers on, but you are on the spectrum of you're not in a pantsuit. You know what I'm saying? You're not in the club with a sweatsuit on. So when you're going into these situations like a club and these people are drinking and they high and whatever, and you are still showing up because they're not gonna let you in a club dressed like that, right? They're not gonna let you in a club overly dressed per se. So you have to understand that when you are accentuating your curves, you are you are adhering to, or you are putting yourself on this spectrum, and and they and men will still approach you as such. You they may not, you're still attracting, you're still attracting the same man. In most men that I know, right? Most men that I know and I'm aware of, they're not necessarily going after the girl in the see-through outfit. Like they're not the only ones that's gonna get hit on that night. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you're not wearing the whole sheer outfit, or you're not wearing something that pretty much this mini skirt got your whole bottom cheeks out. You're not that girl, so we're not gonna approach you. You got on the tight jeans and you got on the sundress, and your boobs are sticking out because you got on a low cut shirt. We're not gonna touch you. We're not even looking at you that way because you're classy with it. You're more no. You they looking at you the same way. So when I'm telling my wife, yo, you got your ass out, you got your titties out, it just is what it is. She's not understanding because she's looking at herself as I'm not that though. And like I said, it's just a sex skill. Like, yes, you may be a stripper. You may be a stripper, but a stripper, and I'm saying this far as strippers who are in states that they don't get all the way nude, right? There are a lot of states that a stripper don't get all the way nude, right? They may have to have pasties on, or you may be able to just show top and not show bottom, or you may not be able to show anything. Like I said, you have pasties on or whatever, so they walking around in pretty much swimsuits or whatever. But A stripper may not believe she's a part of sex work because she's doing in the strip club. I don't touch men. You're not allowed to touch strippers in clubs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, I'm just dancing. I'm not going home with them. I know strippers who may go to the back room and do all of that. I just dance for my little couple of songs and I go home. I'm not leaving with nobody. This and this and that, or I'm a stripper. I'm in a sanctioned environment. I'm not actually out here on the street. I'm not escorting. I'm not prostituting. So it's like every all these women that when you talk to them, what depending on the scale, the sex scale that they on, if they are not the extreme of it, they look like they feel like they're not a part of it. Like it's even girls who like we know now who, oh, pay my rent, or you gotta take me out to eat, or you gotta put some gas in my car. My kids need groceries. I need groceries. Whatever the like dating has become so transactional at this point where a regular man will look at it like, if it's so transactional, if you can't go out with me and we just go to eat at Olive Garden, we had to go to Roof Chris. We can't go to, I mean, and this is ain't for like, because I know a lot of podcasters speak to a certain echelon of woman. I'm talking about the regular woman, right? If the regular woman is really looking for these transactional dates, is all I'm saying. Then we start saying, yo, you really sex work right now, because you're valuing the average date of me, us going out to eat, going to the movies, and just doing normal things, going bowling. You're saying you can't even do the regular normal stuff which a guy may be willing to pay for, right? Outright pay for whatever. I gotta pick you up, take you to the joint, or we getting in the Uber or whatever, and then y'all try to say, oh, you gotta pay for it either way. It's still trans. And now you making regular dating so transactional that now it looks like everybody's in sex work. See what I'm saying? So, but you'll say, well, I'm not a stripper. Like the regular girl is, I'm not a stripper. I'm not an escort. I'm not a prostitute. I'm not walking the streets. I'm not walking up to somebody's car trying to get an exchange. I'm just trying to, you're just not gonna take me out for free though, or you're not trying to, like, everybody, all dudes ain't trying to Netflix and chill. Like, I know it's a lot of incels, there's a lot of red pill type of dudes out in these streets now, and that it may not. Maybe they were always there, but maybe now they're more inclined to speak out because now they feel like they have others to back them up in this in this social media age where like it's all on Twitter and Instagram and whatever, and you just feel like you have kinship, friendship, a group to vent to, and you could always speak, go to somebody on YouTube and hear what you want to hear. Like, so maybe it's more, they're more able to speak out, but it's like a lot of people are turning these things to being so transactional, even in courting, like a man courting a woman. It's like, but like I said, man, there is a sex skill, ladies, that you have to understand. So like even on the recent show when they brought up not Tyrese, what's his name? Tyson Bedford. When they brought up Tyson, she was like, Tyson did music video, and they're like, oh no. Tyson is a model. He may have done a music video too, but he's a model. That's what I'm saying. You probably like uh I want to say Michael Jackson. I'm pretty sure when remember the time when he had Eddie Murphy and whoever was else in that video. It is you doing a music video with Michael Jackson. You're not out here shaking booty and shaking ass to that degree like a hip hop rap video does. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, they might be inclined to do that video. Like I said, with change clothes. If he calls Tyra Banks, if or Naomi Campbell, yeah, they might do that video, but they may say, you know what, you are Jay-Z and you have a catalog of things that we can't necessarily associate ourselves with that though, and they might turn them down. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta know, but ladies, you gotta know there is a sex spectrum. There is, guys, in just because you not are not on that extreme of sex spectrum, and I'm saying there are different sex spectrums because, like I said, video models or video vixens or whatever you want to call them, that might be in line with like magazine print and all of that, or like you understand what I'm saying. Like the video girls are not on the same spectrum as pornography. You know what I'm saying? That's not scaled. Like you gotta, but there is a sex spectrum for each uh entertainment art form, or if you want to say. So you just gotta understand where you fit on that scale, and ultimately, just because you're not the extreme of that, don't mean you are not on that. And like Joe and them said, there's plenty of video vixens that were probably sleeping with people to get roles and all of these things, that the story of Corinne Steffens, her name is Elizabeth White or something like that at this point. Or maybe I'm mixing her and the girl China White up, or China Black or whatever her name. But Elizabeth, I believe her name is, that she's going by now. Superhead, Corinne Steffens. I believe her book to be true for a lot of other girls. So can you really fault her? I say no. Thank you, and I'm gone.